Hello everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of What If Izuku Midoriya had Lazarus as a quirk. Let's get into this shit. But beforehand, I want to show you all something. I have to give credit where credit is due. This man right here, respect. Regardless, this comment, I just noticed it yesterday. And I was like, holy shit. My people, anyway. But yeah, no. Yeah, back to the legitimacy of what we were doing. So, Izuku, like I said, small recap, ended up bringing back Shigaraki's mother, and then Shigaraki ended up getting curious, going into the cult little, sanctuary. They're, all for one's trying to figure out how the fuck are we gonna deal with this problem. And All Might fucking lands because the name Shimura was said. The last name Shimura was said, so he had to, go check it out. Because of course he would. That's his late master, so, yeah. So when it comes down to it, Izuku, who ended up talking to All Might after, reuniting Shiggy with his mom, and, excuse me, I just had coffee and some cereal without any milk because we ran out of it. So I basically, already had a bowl of cereal, went to go get the milk. There ain't none, so I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna just take the spoon out, rinse it off, put it back in the sink, and just grab it and eat it like chips. So, yeah. Izuku was able to convince All Might not to join, but, he could fix up his injury and, set the clock back for him. So, he begins the process. Izuku, begins the process of, you've guessed it, filling up the big ass fucking tub with his blood. And All Might's confused, and he's like, you don't have to take your clothes off, but, you won't. They'll just be covered in blood. So, All Might, goes in there with his underwear, because he's uncomfortable. Well, there isn't really that many people around to see this, and some people just aren't even paying attention. Most of them aren't, because it's not a big ritualistic thing at the moment. It's just people walking around. And there's one thing that All Might realized after he was basically submerged, and it he felt his wound just stop hurting, because some of that his blood accidentally got in his mouth, which kind of was just nah, what the fuck, this is gross. I'm gonna get AIDS, even though it can't happen, no. But, yeah, no. Izuku is, let us say, shocked when he sees a younger All Might in his 20s come out of the pool of his blood, and he's like, that makes a lot of sense. And okay. Hey, and like All Might's just kind of just like, oh, fuck. Look, this is weird. So, All Might, looking younger, feeling great, just kind of walks out of the pool, gives us thanks, dries off, goes to take like an actual shower. Izuku like basically gave him clothes, and technically he is like a member of the church now, so oh yeah, like he's not a believer, but he is a member of the church. So Izuku does like I said last episode, like go to college. College, and he goes to the entrance exam. Nezu and no one else really notices it's him because he basically had his quirk changed to like super strength and intelligence. And he just kind of went through the entrance exam. Nothing really special happened. Izuku was able to get in. He was in class 1A. And he did notice, like, hey, some of, like, his followers' kids are in here, and they do recognize him, but they were told not to say anything. So, yeah. When it comes down to, like, Izuku specifically, it's just kind of, it's kind of a wash. Because Izuku knows how to fight, and like a lot of fighting styles, because he had way more time than anyone that is alive to work on them. So yeah, that's that is a very interesting thing. So he ends up going into class 1A the next 2 weeks later. And Shiggy hasn't really left the church. And he has confided in Izuku that he worked for All for One. And Izuku knows where his base of operations is. So one day, hey, like Shigaraki's just like chilling at the church. And since Korigiri hasn't been in the church, no one knows what the church looks like on the inside except for worshippers. And they are tight-lipped as fuck. So, like, eventually, Izuku would end up going to a bar. And, like, walk in, look at Korigiri, because it was open. It was not a well-known bar, but it was a bar. Got himself a drink from Korigiri. And just flat out said, "So what the fuck is All for One?" And just takes a sip. Korigiri's like eyes go wide when he notices, oh fuck. He knows. Shigaraki fucking snitched. Anyway. Damn it. Like, he's just like, he's scared because he doesn't know, like, he was told always to, like, be extremely careful around Izuku. And before Korigiri could, like, utter out a word, like, some of the drinks move, and a TV kind of just pops out, and a picture of All For One just appears, and he's like, ah, fuck. Fuck, why are you here? And he's like, oh, I'm just wondering what some fucking kid is doing, trying to act like he's about some shit, and he's looking directly at the camera. Basically, All For One feels like he's getting looked into his fucking soul. God damn it. But, yeah. Now that sounds over. All For One feels like he's getting stared, like, directly into his soul. And it kind of gives him, like, a skin crawly feeling. Like, fuck. And he's like, I'm sorry, the fuck did you just say to me, boy? And he's like, and then Izuku's like, no, you listen here, you little fucking shit. I don't give a fuck. Look, if you're half my age, bitch, I'm immortal. I can't die. So listen here, you seem to be paraplegic fuck. If you step on my toes again, I'm going to cut your legs off at the knees. Do I make myself very fucking clear? And, like, don't get me wrong, Izuku's still kind of psychopath. Because, like, being immortal does not always mean, hey, you're mentally stable. Granted, Izuku is extremely stable, but, like, he's immortal. He's lived for 400 years. He has, like, seen some atrocities happen that he is disappointed about. The dog is running around upstairs, so don't worry about it. But, yeah. All For One's just like flabbergasted that this person walked into his bar to tell him off. And, like, All For One, I'm not gonna lie, he's scared of Izuku. Because he doesn't know the full, like, capabilities of his powers. Like, at all. Not in the fucking slightest. So, like, he doesn't know if he could bring One For All users back. That's the scary thing that, like, is going to be said. And All For One and Korigiri don't know that about fucking All Might yet. So, yeah. Izuku kinda like... Well, he kind of did give off a hint to All Might, which he did pick up on, that he knows about All For One. He didn't pick up on One For All, but he's, like, he sure as hell did tell, like, All Might did think that, oh, fuck, he knows about One For All. He must have known Nana or some shit. Which he did have, like, conversations with Nana. They were pleasant. But, like, technically he does have Nana's body in the graveyard. Basically on cryo. But, like, he needs, like, the consent of a family member to bring them back But if they don't have family left, it's Izuku's call. Well, it's either a family member or like a family friend. So it's one of those situations. So, yeah, no, All for One's uncertain if, like, Izuku could bring every fucking One for All user back from the dead. Which, he is scared about. Because, to be honest, there is, like, another user, the user that, had spider sense as a quirk, was one of the people that, was a cultist of Izuku's. So, he's not brought back yet because Izuku's been in jail for a long ass time. But, yeah, all in all, Izuku just kind of doesn't give a fuck. And All for One just like nods. Izuku nods back at the camera and says, well then, my business is done here. And he just pours what's left of the scotch on the floor, smashes the glass on the table, and walks out. Izuku don't fuck with this person. He don't fuck with All for One at all. Right? So, like, he goes back to, the church, and actually, like, All Might's there. And he's talking with Izuku, and he's like, how much do you know about All for One? And he's like, I know everything, lying through his teeth. And he's like, fuck. So he thinks Izuku knows about One for All. So they talk, and he lets One for All slip. And Izuku's like, refresh me on One for All again? I'm sorry. Sorry, 400 years old. Sometimes the memory is not always there. Yeah, they begin talking. He does go to college. I'm saying, like, when All for One, I mean, not All for One, but when Izuku and, Dude, like, All Might meet, like, for the heroes versus villains, that's a different thing. That's an entirely different thing. And, to be honest, Izuku just flat out says, like, do you want me to bring Nana back? And he just, like, kind of stops and, like, thinks for a minute. And he's like, oh, fuck. Like, he doesn't know. Because technically Nana would still have the embers. Probably. At least that's what All Might's thinking. So she could help. So, in all reality, like, he ends up bringing Shigaraki and his mother into the conversation. I don't know her name. I couldn't find her name. I tried my damnedest. I could not find it. But, yeah. And if I made up a name, I forgot that shit. But, yeah, no. He ends up bringing up the point that, hey, I can bring his mother, like, your mother back, as well as his friend. I'm asking both of you, hey, do you consent to this? Yes. And they're like, kind of stop, think a couple. Both of them are eventually like, yeah. I was like, okay. And he stands up and, like, goes to the graveyard. Oh, shit. Pocket got stuck on something. But, he gets the grave, which, to be honest, all of his graves are like easy access mausoleums, basically. So he gets like 8 people to like bring out the coffin, the cryo coffin, bring her to the pool. Basically does the same shit that he did with the others, and Nana's back in the picture. And he said, oh wait, I forgot to bring someone else back. One moment. He like goes to get Spider Sense dude, which I forgot the name of and exactly what user he is, but he brings his ass back too. So there are about 3 to 4-ish people. Yeah, no, there are like 3 people that know how to use fucking One For All up in the same fucking room. 2 of them brought back from the dead. And because Izuku, and Izuku's just chilling, and he like has clothes and shit ready for Nana and them. And when they get out, so yeah, there are like 2 people with embers of One For All still kicking about. All Might with like full tilt, let me beat your ass levels of One For All, and like whoever he chose. Which I'ma say Mirio for this one. Why? Because why the fuck not? Because I don't want to think about it. So Izuku and him and all like the users are talking. More and more, they're just having a chat. And in all reality, Izuku's just like, yeah, no, I went to go talk to the fucking infant that I believe now seems to be a paraplegic. He's like, and everyone's looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, I'm talking about All For One, fucking baby man. And fucking man baby. Maybe. Yeah, no, he was like in a hospital bed. He seemed to have a catheter and a lot of tubes going in his neck. So I think like he has respiratory issues. And his face is fucked up, probably. So like they're all like talking, kind of like goofing on All For One low-key. And then like Shigaraki brings up, oh yeah, no, he's not a paraplegic. he just sits in that hospital bed a lot. Because All Might kind of almost killed him. And as soon as Izuku heard that, he just kind of looks over at All Might like, what the fuck? Same with Nana. And I'm like, everybody kind of looking at All Might like, explain. All Might explains how he let his emotions get the best of him, and Nana proceeds to slap him in the back of the head. And calling him a dumbass. And to not do that shit again. And Nana, like, sees her daughter. It's either, wait. It's either that was her daughter or that was her niece? I don't think Nana had a sister, but I'm like 90% certain that was either her sister or her daughter. It was like one of the two. Yeah, no, because I think... Yeah, no, Shigaraki was the grandson of Nana. Yeah, no, she sees her daughter. He reunited even more of a family, makes him, like, even more happy, like, Yee. He's like, warmness in chest, I'm happy. Happy. This feels good. I feel like I accomplished many good things today. So, like, they eventually get to talking. And, like, All Might ends up bringing Mirio to Izuku. Which Mirio is like, you're one of the fucking culties? It's like, Izuku explains the situation. Ooh. Had sound and gravity. Okay. But, yeah. When it comes down to that, they kind of all like form a fellowship of the Rings-esque thing of curb stomping the shit out of All for One. And I mean, like, Izuku will make sure he won't die. But like, yeah, no, all of you go out like you're trying to kill him. Kill him. So like, Izuku's the medic. And make sure the fucker won't die. Like, if you rip off limbs, it doesn't really matter if he's dead or not. Like, if he lives through it, because he'll basically be fucking useless. But, yeah. He basically made a Fellowship of the Rings to curb stomp All for One. That, and he also, I'm taking a page out of Homie's comment, he, calls almost, not a sermon, but like he calls his little batch of paladins in. Now, he has a group of paladins, and he has a group of assassins. So, for people who actually think, oh yeah, no, Toga is built like a sister of battle. For the Warhammer fans, built like a fucking truck to curb stomp the shit out of you. Because I'm gonna say Toga was born earlier, and his mother kind of founded that equivalency of the Sisters of Battle, and Izuku just kind of like made the Crusaders basically fucking Spetsnaz, just fucking ready to fuck you up crew. That's literally what they are meant to do. Like, both groups are designed to kill you in different ways. One's designed to use their quirks and shoot you. One's designed to just, like, set you on fire with a flamethrower. Like, that's basically it. Izuku, like, summons all of his fucking peoples and tells them the plan. Now, since this plan is kind of already, like, mid-fruition, they're all basically ready. They're waiting in the fucking wings. Izuku did not tell anyone about, like, hey, I'm going to get my license. But, like, people still think, oh, yeah, no, I'm doing my shit without my hero license. My quirk license. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That's, excuse me. Ooh. That coffee and cereal hit different this morning, man. Ugh. But, yeah. Izuku and them just ready, like, if bad shit happens, we're going to be waiting in the wings for it. Now, I'm gonna say Izuku is a bit, kind of active in his part of the neighborhood, let us say. Like, the building surrounding the main chapel is Izuku's little stomping ground. And he basically has the equivalency of police jurisdiction there. So, his shit, I'm gonna say, like, that chapel is in the Hosu region. Yeah, you know where this is going. So, what happens, there isn't a USJ attack. But first, we're gonna go to the heroes versus villains when All Might realizes when he does that good old fashioned fucking slides into the room dabbing. But anyway, fuck. But yeah, when like All Might and Izuku make eye contact, Izuku just shakes his head like, "Don't fucking say anything." Like, no, don't say a fucking word, man. And All Might, like, ignores it for now, but he finds it kind of fucking weird. So, like, All Might eventually, like, talks to Izuku, like, "Hey, why the fuck are you here?" And he's like, "First off, I want to expand on my knowledge. Two, this license shit is, like, annoying, but I'm gonna have to struggle with it." And he's like, "You could just apply online for one." And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It's like, he just looks at him. "I thought you had to go to school for this." It's like, no, you just needed like a license. It's like, fuck. He's just kind of mad because he basically like had this fucking elaborate plot. And he's like, "You could have gotten it on the internet." Fucking slaps the ball out of his fucking hands right before he makes the layup. Like, he was right there. He was about to dunk. He was like, nah, you could have done this so much differently. But, yeah, no, Izuku's kind of pissed. In his vast intelligence, he forgot that the internet existed. But, yeah. That's, I'm just kind of gonna go to the Hosu incident. To be honest, because this was meant to be like a shorter series. To be honest, this was like a gag series that I thought of doing. And then it became a lot more serious. You know what I mean? I was like, I was making this as a joke. It got serious. Serious, hold up. Fuck. It's just got weird. So, like, Izuku did, I'm gonna say, end up finding Stain before the Hosu incident because he was fucking around the main chapel and was about to kill someone. And Izuku fucking just ran in and just took a stab that like one of his cultists would have gotten, and like one of the heroes that ended up becoming one of the cultists. And Izuku just like looks at a dude and just like, and just flat out said, "Get the fucking sisters on this man now." And dude fucking runs because he never heard Izuku this pissed. Now, Stain thinks Izuku's going to die from this, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like, looks confused as hell, like, pulls the blade out, realizes there's no blood on it, and then, like, he looks back, and then he just gets fucking rocked in his mouth. Like a really fucking mean punch. Directly to his open mouth. which dislocates his jaw and knocks some teeth out. As Stain stumbles back, Izuku, not letting up, does the same, like a kind of a different thing. He just kind of kicks his fucking knee in. His knee is now like an ostrich. You ain't running for me. So, like, after doing that, I'm gonna say, like, not even a couple seconds later, like, two women in, like, flak armor the size of fucking fridges will rock around a corner and just charge Stain, which is basically, like, oh god, no. He just starts getting curb stomped by two buff chicks. And then just drug off into some dank cell somewhere. And then, to be honest, some kind of, like, unsavory things happen. Like, Izuku begins to, like, low-key fuck with Stain's head a lot. Like, he's a good person, but, like, you tried to kill one of his family. I ain't letting that shit stand. So, what happened was this. Izuku decided to just turn him into one of his assassitorum groups. Basically, turning him into the guard. One of the Imperial Guard soldiers, to be honest. He'd kind of just put him in the Spetsnaz group. After like a week of like psychological torture, he broke even further. Izuku swept up the pieces, put him back together, and basically made him believe 100% in his god. So, yeah. And I quote, from a very interesting inquisitor. Long live the Imperium of Man. But, yeah, now we're gonna end it because, I kind of want to make another Cinderblock one. This might be a triple upload, but I'm gonna make it later. Yeah. I'm gonna make a Cinderblock one after a couple hours pass. Yeah. Anyway, have a nice day, a lot of you. Because I don't know why. But if I do disappear for like another 2 days, ration these out. That ain't my fault that y'all watching shit real fast. But yeah, that's about it. Have a nice one.